Good evening, everybody. I want to come to you and talk to you about the Democratic debate from last night. It was interesting, to say the least. You had 10 candidates on stage in Houston, basically sharing their vision for the country. Um, I'm just going to say this, and I hope nobody don't get mad. The Democratic Party is the party of giveaways. Everything is free, billion, and trillion. But let's get to it. Let's talk about it. The first person is Senator Castro. The consensus that I've been hearing on the news today, basically about Senator Castro, has been mean, rude, crass, went below the line. Look, Joe Biden is an established person, has been in Washington for a very long time. And I'm gonna say this also. I feel like Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders looked so tired last night. They needed to go home and take a nap. Everyone knew, or knows about Joe Biden's gaffes, his way of forgetting things. But it's like someone told me one time: you have to talk about a child without calling the child ugly. Because if you call a child ugly, you're going to be known as the mean person. And the fact that Senator Castro, was Secretary of HUD under the Obama administration, a person who's been in politics for a long time, how he didn't know that, I just don't know. No one on the stage, even when he decided to go after Joe Biden, no one on the stage went after him for practically an hour and a half into the debates. And he felt some kind of way. That was his way he was going to charge at him. Not a good look. The media didn't like it. People don't like it. You're gone. Like, your chances of ever getting to the White House, period, is gone. So, poor Senator Castro, good luck in another dimension or in another body, because currently right now, you are not the one. So, poor Castro. We're going to move on to Joe Biden. We was talking about Joe Biden just now. Joe Biden, look, the establishment wants Joe Biden to win, hands down. They want him to win. They want him to go against Donald Trump. Why? I don't know. Because when it comes time to the general election and Donald Trump and Biden is side by side debating, he's going to look very strange. Put it that way. It's going to look very obvious that he needs to go home and go to sleep. Even though I just got through talking about Castro, age shaming, I'm not really age shaming. I'm just stating what's there. And it's sad that people are going around here propping this man up the same way they propped Hillary Clinton up in 2016, thinking he's going to pull through, and he's not. The Democratic Party definitely needs a new face. Who that new face is, I don't know. I wouldn't want to put Joe through all that. Because he's been through enough as it is. I want Joe to go home. He served 8 years as vice president. He's done his job. I know there have been many vice presidents going on to the president's role, but this is not the time. And his views or vision of the world is outdated. So, but one thing I do want to bring up: did everybody see when Senator Castro was going after Joe Biden, and Joe had to whisper, well, Bernie whispered over at Joe, don't do it. Don't do it, Joe. Because Joe looked like he was about to walk over there and let Senator Castro have it. And it seems to me there's a history behind that. Like, during the Obama tenure, I feel like Joe and Castro used to get into it a lot. Or it was like one of those love and hate relationships. Like, I gotta work with you, but I don't like you like that. But it just seemed very, very like there's a history between them two last night at the debates. Nonetheless, Joe looked like he was ready to beat his ass. Next person, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, Miss Prosecutor from the state of California. She has no conviction. And a lot of people have been saying that about her for the longest. But for some reason, I think that's a part of her plan to ease her way to the top 4. Is it smart? Is it dumb? Who knows? We'll find out as the months goes on. But Kamala definitely is up to something. Have you ever met somebody before? You just can't put your finger on them. Like, they have this wall up. Like, you just don't know who they are. You don't know what they're gonna do, what they stand for. It's just that you know they're up to something all the time. And that's just the type of person Kamala is, up to something sneaky or conniving. Nonetheless, the whole night she just kept basically going along with what everybody else was saying, adding her little 2 cents to it to make it her own. But in actuality, it was just Kamala being Kamala. She did get one good zinger, I like to call it, by bringing up Donald Trump and the fact that he has basically tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And this would be detrimental to a lot of people who are currently signed up on it. So she did bring that up. But that was the only thing. I mean, you're talking about 2 hours of a debate and you can only come up with one zinger? I mean, that speaks volumes. Nonetheless, she's hanging in there as far as I can see. She's working hard. We'll find out in the next few months how far it takes her. But the girl is sneaky and she's up to something. So y'all keep your eyes on her. I'm keep my eyes on her too. Senator Beto. Beto is, to me, like, I'm sure everyone has seen Beto's Instagram post about him changing a tire, him getting his nose hairs clipped. The list goes on. Just trying to make himself seem relatable. And I get it. Also, I know everyone has seen when Beto was in El Paso when they had the recent mass shooting, supporting the citizens and the community during that tragic time. I don't think it's time for Beto right now. I think Beto will end up or be better off running again in 2024 when the field would be clean for Republicans and Democrats. So he'll be able to stand out more is what I'm trying to say. Right now, this is Trump world. More than likely, Trump is going to be reelected. Somebody might not like the statement, but that's the truth. Because when you look at the whole panel last night at the debate, I don't see anyone that can go toe-to-toe with Trump. I really don't. And none of those policies stand out to me. I didn't see not one. Nothing. Let me think. Did y'all see anything that stood out? I didn't. So we'll just keep our eyes on that situation. But Beto basically talked about his zinger was confiscation of confiscating guns. One thing about this country people need to understand, America is serious about cheap labor and their guns. I just don't think there's a one solution that's going to resolve the problem of mass shootings. I really don't. I mean, I could do a whole nother video about gun control, but there's no one solution that's going to resolve the matter. And the more and more you try to press down on gun control, you're not going to get a warm response from people. People are going to feel like you're trying to confiscate their guns, and it just doesn't work like that. Nonetheless, he did get a big applause from the crowd last night when he talked about taking away AR-15s and AKs and so on like that. But basically all machine guns, assault rifles, whatever. There's like 11 or 10 million of those type of guns out here. Like, doing a buyback program, which is really not a buyback program. It's basically the government taking your guns. Look, the Democrats are definitely walking a thin line right now with some of their policies and initiatives. But I do understand that their heart may be in the right place of trying to do something for the American people. Unfortunately, it's not what majority of American people want. So they have to be careful about that. But Beto, I do feel like 2024 would be a better time for him to run. Right now, it's just not a good run for him. Andrew Yang. The first two debates, I was interested in Andrew Yang. He was my fave until last night. Now he's starting to come off like Publishing Clearinghouse. Like every statement is like, what can I give you? I'm trying to give you something. This money, like the two things I heard from him last night was the freedom dividend and democracy dollars. He's literally trying to buy the votes of the people, but it's not going to work either. Why Democrats always think it has to be some type of giveaway or something free in order to gain attention or gain votes. I'm confused. Can anyone come up with a plan or an initiative that allows a person to go out here and strive to be the best, work hard to be the best? I've always been taught you can, give a man a fish, but if you show him how to fish, he can sustain his life a lot better and a lot longer. And a lot of the Democrat plans don't show people how to sustain their lives. It's just more or less try to keep people subsidized and attached to the government. And who wants to be attached to the government? Hands. Exactly. But yeah, freedom dividends and democracy dollars. Y'all be on the lookout for that. From Andrew Yang. I don't know what political office he's going to run for and win with that type of information, but it's starting to go flat. And I thought it was something very interesting in the first two debates. This current debate, it's sucky. Elizabeth Warren, I feel like this with Elizabeth Warren, when I talk about her, I feel like she might end up being the nominee for the Democratic Party. I really feel like it's going to be a two women party ticket for the DNC. I just feel that way for some reason, but we'll find out as the months go on. But during the debates last night, did anyone cringe when she started talking about her early college education and what she had to go through? For those who don't know, Elizabeth Warren actually took advantage of the system by saying she was from an Indian descent, American Indian descent. When you think about it, it was kind of smart because I think she went to Yale or either Harvard, I can't remember. But basically, each school has a certain percentile of ethnicity groups they should have enrolled into the school. Now, I don't know what part of the country, and I'm on the East Coast. Southeast. I don't know exactly. I don't know too many Indians, put it that way. And I don't know any other people who know too many Indians. So with that said, by her choosing the ethnicity Indian to enter into an Ivy League school was pretty smart. She ended up getting her degree, but like she said last night, she only practiced law for 45 minutes, which tells me a lot. But nonetheless, last night she was kind of quiet. She wasn't as aggressive as she was in the last debate. But I think she's doing the same thing as Kamala. Like, she's sitting back and letting everybody else kind of make a fool of themselves and just kind of coast through, and hopefully, well, I'm almost certain she's going to be in the top four. She's going to be it's going to be Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, if he don't keel over and croak. Forgive me, that's bad, and Kamala. Everybody else, I don't see them getting to the top four. I really don't. But everybody else, I mean, as of right now, I think it's going to be Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, he wants to go after every insurance company, every big corporation. He wants to go after everybody who has billions and trillions of dollars. You notice he don't talk about millionaires anymore because Bernie is a millionaire. Bernie has 2 beachfront property homes in the state of Vermont. And he's a well-off man. He's been in politics for a very long time. A lot of people go into politics with a few cents in their pockets, and they end up coming out millionaires, hence Bernie Sanders. But he wants America to be in a place where we can provide health care to 300 million people. Bold idea, just it doesn't make sense from a budget standpoint, because I don't think there's enough money. Even if we were to tax all of the billionaires and trillionaires, what do you want to call them, 100%, we still wouldn't have enough money to pay for health care for 300 million people. It's just not possible. And all of them, the funny part is everybody on the stage have raised their hand for universal health care, but basically expanding Medicare that's already there. The wording is all wrong. I know during the gun control piece, Elizabeth Warren talked about doing incremental changes. Now, mind you, this is a constitutional law, Second Amendment, actually, constitutional amendment that, right to bear arms. So for you to stab at it to try to make some changes, in other words, you're gonna have to do little incremental changes in order to get uh, the gun industry, as well as guns on the street, to be a little bit different. That's how they should be wording the healthcare system. We need to do incremental changes as far as with the current system, the current ACA, on making it the number one option for people besides going to a third-party insurance company. Now, Elizabeth Warren says she don't know anybody who likes their insurance company, and this is true. For the most part, you can get your teeth cleaned for free. You probably can do a nice little quick checkup where they check your blood pressure, your hearing, and all that stuff. But when it comes to like specialists, going to see a specialist or going to see anybody, a surgeon or anything, insurance companies are not paying nothing because they're in the business to make money. So I can definitely see where she's coming from. But kicking people off their current insurance that if they have lobbied with unions they're a part of, to get cheaper insurance, they're not going to give up their company insurance just to go with Medicare, please. For one, Medicare only pays, I think, 70% to doctors and hospitals. Hospitals will go out of business if everybody was on Medicare. That's why I was like, it's just, they got to stop. They got to stop. They got to stop. They got to come up with something else. But that's how they need to talk about healthcare. Incremental changes. All these bold ideas of putting everybody on one system, a single payer system, it ain't gonna happen. Stop trying, stop talking about it, because all you do is make people less interested. But last night, I didn't hear anybody talk about the economy. And does anybody know why? You didn't hear anybody talk about the economy? I'm gonna tell you why, because the economy is good. I told somebody recently, I remember back when Obama was in office, every person I used to date always had a food stamp card. They didn't have a job, they didn't have the money to go anywhere, but they had a food stamp card. So we would go to the grocery store and maybe get some salmon, get some shrimp, get some lobster, pay cash for some wine, and have a date night, because you couldn't do nothing else with a food stamp card. Now, no disrespect to those who want food stamps. I'm just saying, everybody had a food stamp card back then, but now everybody got jobs. The economy is well. Everybody's doing very well right now. So they couldn't really talk about the economy. They moved past it. They talked about a whole bunch of other stuff that didn't make any sense to me. But Democratic debate last night was, it was what it was. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm gonna tell you right now, my money's not on. I was interested in Andrew Yang, but my money's not on anyone. What's the other candidate? Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota. They tried to back her into a corner about when she was a prosecutor and why she didn't speak up for certain incidents concerning discrimination or police brutality with minorities, and she tried to scratch her way out of it the best way she could, but it was blah, blah, blah. Most of these people, when you hear them talk about criminal injustice, that's something else too. Donald Trump actually was the first person that actually got criminal justice reform done, right? People are being released from prison as we speak. But you don't hear too much from the Democratic Party. They talk about it, but they don't have any initiatives and policies about it. So, as they say before, they're called the Dixiecrats for a reason, I think a lot of times what they do is they seek your support by making you emotional about racism, trying to make you think that people still going around here putting burning crosses in their front yards, and they're not. If anybody knows anything, racism is systematic. And what I mean by systematic is it's in laws, state laws, federal laws. It's in company policies, procedures, schools, neighborhoods. It's in that banking industry. That's where the racism lies. But most of the time when the Democrats talking about racism or discrimination, they talk about something that was practiced in the 60s and the 50s that doesn't occur right now. And it just, people actually get really upset and mad about it. I'm confused. I don't understand it myself. But hey, teach his own. But again, the debate was okay. We have a couple of more this year before this year is out. So I look forward to seeing the debate stage slim down a little bit more. And you guys let me know what you think. This is my video about the debate. I will give you guys another one when the next one comes out, and hopefully somebody's doing something different than what they're talking about right now. Because this, yes, I did notice last night Obama wasn't the enemy last night like he was in the second debate. Because in the second debate, Obama was the enemy of their own party, which is strange because they're gonna need his endorsement in the end. That's why I keep telling you, like, it's just a panel of foolishness sometimes. But anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent. What I give the debate last night, I give it a C rating. Hopefully there's more to come, more ideas and initiatives. But I'm gonna tell y'all, my two the two things I want you guys to remember me saying. It's gonna be a two-woman ticket. That's gonna be the final thing. The top 4 people is going to be Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Elizabeth Warren. So let me know what you guys think at the bottom. Click subscribe, click like, and have a great evening.